Great sunrise, family. Welcome. I'll wait a little bit for some people to come on in. Hey Dee, welcome. I'll be ready in a few seconds. Few seconds. I am back. Here we are. Okay, let's get started. Let's see. Okay. We're ready to do part, let me see. That side. We're ready to finish up. We're trying to finish up chapter 1. My reading, I was planning on going to like 4 o'clock because we got about this much in the book to finish to get to chapter 2, which you can see on this side. Sorry about that. My mirror is backwards for me. Okay, about that much. So I think we can get through it all. If not, then I'll have to take an extra day, add an extra day onto the reading. Okay. So far, we're realizing what the struggle is. The struggle in this story is imperialism against intuitionism. Intuition. Do I need to pull up the information on those before we get into the reading? Why not? We'll look up those words and empiricism. Okay. Just so we can, hey, Mr. Pirate Brain, I ain't seen you in a while. I hope all is well with you. Love you too. Bye. Let me share my screen so we can look at this definition. It says here that imperialism is the theory that all knowledge is derived from a sense experience, stimulated by the rise of experimental science. It developed in the 17th to 18th centuries, expounded in particular by John Locke, George Berkeley, and David Hume. Empiricism. So let's look up Intuitionist. What is that about? Okay. Let me share the screen on that one. Hey, Yasini, welcome. And Chief Woolly Hair, welcome. Okay, stop sharing that. And we're going to share this with you guys. Intuition definition. So we can get a clear understanding of what we're listening to. The theory that primary truths and principles, especially those of ethics and metaphysics, are known directly by intuition. Now, could this be kind of related to the left brain and the right brain? Yes, it is big time related to the left brain and the right brain. I'm an intuitionist, but on my channel, I often talk about my life experiences. And experiences are a big part of us as well. We can either have an intentional experience, so because we're trying to learn from it, and hopefully we learn and not learn the hard way or learn before we get to share what we've learned in our lives. That's why intuition comes in, because intuition is going to give you the sense of, is this the right thing to do? Is it right for me to go with this group of people? I don't feel good about them. Or you get a good feeling. And when you get a good feeling, it's okay. But when you get that bad feeling, you listen to it and you say, well, no, this is not good. This is not going to be a good experience for me. So this is why all things in Mott, all things in balance. But we got the imperialism against the intuitionists. So let's get started without further delay. Okay. Kick back and have your hot cup of cocoa or tea and just listen. Let me get this. Okay, there we go. All right. Neighbors yet, but stubborn farmland scattered with the wooden houses of optimistic citizens. Pig pens and goats to justify the train and the rich man's romance. Speculators assembled jury and sturdy tenements and directed immigrants. Inquiries north to the new territory. The train justified itself in due course, and the speculators did quite well for themselves. There was a destination now. The harbor disgorged hundreds daily, and they had to live somewhere. The neighborhood named itself, created a persona, optimistic, scrambling in depth to the grand new country, of which it was merely a small and significant part. Then the coloreds surged and dreamed of the North too. They had been told something and believed it. They said they wanted to be lied to, right? One by one, the lights in the windows of the Poles and Russians' apartments extinguished, and when the windows blazed again, it was a colored light that burnt within them. The neighborhood retained its old name, but it meant something very different. Never mind that a few Poles and Russians continued to operate grocery and butcher stores and occasionally extend credit. No one doubted that the neighborhoods are new meaning prevailed. For the Poles and the Russians turned out the lights in the stores at nightfall and scurried, back on the elevator trains to their new neighborhood. The neighborhood is changing again. Its meaning blurs at the edge as white people return, obey the city's rules of teeming density and insidious rents. Only the real estate agents who understand that meaning is elastic know the borders of the neighborhood for sure, modulating their sales pitches to reassure their clients that they are not moving into the colored neighborhood, but into the farther reaches of the adjacent white neighborhood. None of this impresses Jim, who would not move into the neighborhood if you paid him. There is no elevator in Lily Mae's building. She has 2 paintings on the wall of her gloomy abode amateur landscape watercolors. Like the art in motel rooms, fits with the general atmosphere of Lily Mae's apartment. John picks up the one photograph in the apartment, which rests on the end table next to Lily Mae's. No sound. Can you hear me now? Let me see. It's no sound. Let me see. Okay, can you hear me now? Oh, that's what Dee was saying earlier. I didn't catch that. Okay. Grim Scarecrow's couch right now. Lily Mae is only a few blocks away from her apartment. But when her father shot the picture 10 years before, she stood on the porch of her childhood home with her mother, skinny and quiet. The denuded light and sad lethargy of the tableau says late summer. The cold months are coming. Lily Mae seems comfortable with this knowledge. Hers is essentially a sad face, inward tending and declivitous. Declivitous. Let me look up the word and have them pronounce the word for me. Can you hear me now? Okay. It doesn't matter what dictionary.
Declivitous.
It's declivitous.
Declivitous.
Declivitous. Okay. Okay. Can y'all hear me now? I hope my sound is better. Let me see. Okay, it says declivitous. A face that draws the unwary into. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear. Okay. Something in the bones. Okay. Don't want to. and inherited. John decides after an appraisal of her mother, children are doomed to reiterate that the mistakes in their parents' physiognomies, as if trapped by curses that mark generations and wait for an unknowable acts of atonement. Jim's parents are obliviously close kin, and if you ask him, he won't deny it. At one point, she got a bird, but it died. John notices Jim rubbing his jaw. Tooth still hurting you? He asks. Jim nods solemnly. You better go to the dentist tomorrow, John advises. No use walking around. No use walking around in pain if you don't have to be. John discovers Lily Mae's book in a ziggurat stack beneath the end table. They're all workbooks. The standard text, zithers, an introduction to counterweights, Alicia Otis, The Man and His Times, and so on. She has all of Fulton's books, from the groundbreaking towards a system of vertical transport to the more blasphemous parts of his oeuvre. Theoretical Elevators, Volumes 1 and 2. So far, there's information has been correct, as it always is, looks like a real blue ribbon type. John decides flipping through guidebooks to elevator safety for incriminating papers. You always call them, Jim says. She's got all the right books. You always call them, Jim says. Jim and John are neat ransackers. When their cases return to their homes, they suffer only the vaguest sense of loss, a nagging perplexity, and with so many other possible causes of that sense of loss. Few suspect that these two men have been pawing their things. John sees himself as a crucial gear in the city's mechanism, a freelance prototype of metropolitan disquiet. Jim and John's employers are proud of them. And when they receive their briefing on tonight's activities, Jim and John will not be reprimanded for failure. Hold on. I got kicked off, so I'm back. Sorry about that. So I'm going to start that part over. Okay. So Jim and John's employers are proud of them. And when they receive their briefing on tonight's activities, Jim and John will not be reprimanded for failure. As long as that forgiveness is tracked and tabulated like absenteeism, pencil theft, fire damage, accident, insurance fraud, and at the end of each quarter, the books tally. What Jim and John are missing is the safe behind the sober painting of haystacks, where she keeps all of her important things. Perhaps John would have found the safe eventually if Lily Mae hadn't disturbed their search. It takes her a few attempts to realize that the reason she can't unlock her door is because it is already unlocked. Jim and John do not take the time allowed by Lily Mae's clicking and fumbling to clamber down the fire escape, or hide in the closet, or pull out their guns and recline on Lily Mae's couch in a rather labored, we've got you covered pose. No, they continue to shake the point down, and that's how Lily Mae finds them. John scrutinizing a pile of receipts from the middle left hand drawer of Lily Mae's sad afterthought of a kitchenette. You never know what notations can be encrypted into a seemingly innocuous phrase such as Bob's Grocery, a place to shop, or in the numerical fortress of prices and taxes, and Jim scraping a finger through the jar of peach preserves Lily Mae received last Christmas from her mother's sister, checking for little treasures like bus station locker keys and microfilm which Jim has never encountered in all his searches through so many apartments, but will one day, he's sure of it. That's how Lily Mae finds them. John peering one big eye through a magnifying glass, and Jim licking his fingers, giving obscenities remarkable gallop into conversation speech, colorful epithets that are to be expected in Lily Mae's address to the two strangers lurking about her apartment. But it is John who is the first to speak. He says, "You're the little lady." The counterweight conscripted into service by the accident rockets into the area of the shaft, angry with new velocity. Only Chuck knows for sure whether it is his congenitality, weak bladder. Family lore tells of 3 aunts and a cousin with the same affliction, or his distaste for Shancrays, unabashed politic king, that makes him rise from his leatherette stool and pad over to O'Connor's scary toilet facilities. Shankray is still spinning out of today's accident into a stump speech on the accomplishments of his 4 years as guild and hence department chair. The election is just around the corner. After all, and Chuck, a clever man, but not precocious about it, knows Shankray's game. This press conference allows Shankray to reach members of the Elevator Inspectors Guild who no longer work for the city, the unactivities, who have retired from the lonesome life running the streets, have secluded themselves behind the ivy gates of the Institute for Vertical Transportation or entered into the private sector. Consulting the dolts from the United and American and Arbo on what elevators are really about. The secrets the shafts have to tell to those who know how to listen. The men in the department are Shankray's most imperialists. He's seen to that. But the unactives are a mercurial bunch, tending to cranky, nonpartisan dispositions, and they vote. Anyone who's a member of the EIG votes every 4 years on the new guild chair, and the guild chair automatically becomes the head of the city's Department of Elevator and Escalator. Chuck adds. Inspectors, Chuck still doesn't know how this arrangement between the guild and the city came about. And when he asked one of the old dogs about it, they changed the subject and looked nervous. Chuck hasn't been able to find anything on paper about it, not even the silent archives of the institutes, not a single precedent. But nevertheless, the guild members elect their chair, and the chair gets a nice government job. Chuck supposes that if an incumbent lost his reelection bid, he could conceivably refuse to budge and cling to his cushy leather chair for dear life. But that's not never happened. Chuck can see Shankray doing it, though, and as he walks into the alcove in front of O'Connor's bathrooms, he wonders what would happen then. She pulls him into the ladies' room before he knows that happened. The ladies' room in O'Connor was designed to accommodate one person. 2 people is cozy, and 3 is scandalous. But that's how many are in there now. Chuck, Lily Mae, and Pie-Faced Annie. Pie-Faced Annie, she of the Gravely mug, is passed out on the toilet, as she always is at that time of the day. O'Connor alone, female alcoholic. O'Connor's lone, female alcoholic. Pie-faced Annie puts in a long day and needs this time to rest up for the long final lap of the day's drinking. She doesn't look passed out so much as eerily blissful. almost as if Lily Mae has already taken her pulse just in case. It was bathrooms. It was, I'm sorry, I skipped that. It was a short scurry from her flimsy hiding place in the bar to the bathrooms. She started when she saw Chuck rise and made it around the corner before he'd even escaped the crowd. In the spirit of decency, Lily Mae pushed pie-faced Annie legs together from their aerated generosity. Chuck is equally disturbed by three things: the ease of his kidnapping, which insults his sense of alertness, the unfamiliarity of being in a lady's bathroom, which brings to his mind an unsettling flash of his mother squatting, and the surety that Lily Mae is going to drag him into this deplorable business about the Fanny Briggs building. Lily Mae, he says, I don't think this is a very appropriate. He can feel the wet sink dapping the backs of his thighs. Sorry about that, Chuck, she replies, but I have to know what happened today. Mm. You haven't checked in upstairs yet. I wanted to be prepared. In the end, it is pie-faced Annie's resemblance to his mother that upsets Chuck the most. He feels like a dirty little boy standing in the dank cubicle, sorry about that, with her. Compared to that, talking with a fugitive from departmental justice is small potatoes. He looks up at the yellow water stains on the ceiling and tells Lily Mae, excuse me, one of the elevators in the Fanny Briggs stack went total free fall this afternoon. The mayor was showing off the place to some guys from the French embassy so they could see how great the city works and whatnot. Okay, he presses the call button and boom, the cab crashes down. Luckily, there was no one on it. For the first time, it occurs to Lily Mae that someone might have been hurt. That's impossible. Total free fall is a physical impossibility. She shakes her head. That's what happened, Chuck reaffirms. He's still looking up at the ceiling. They can hear some of their colleagues whooping outside the door. 40 floors, which one? Number 11. I think she remembers number 11 distinctively. Uh, distinctly, sorry. A little shy, but that's normal in a new cab. The entire stack is outfitted with the new Arbo interlocks. Lily Mae argues, plus the standard reg gear. I inspected them myself. Did you see them? Chuck's Chuck asked tentatively, or did you intuit intuit them? Lily Mae ignores the slur. I did my job, she says. Maybe you missed something. I did my job, Lily Mae says. She bears her voice rising. Keep cool. What did Shankray say? Had the mayor in his office ever since had the mayor in his office ever since it happened? Chuck says, attempting to be helpful, so I don't know what the official story is. But you get the gist from his speech. He's making it into a political thing because you're an intuitionist. And colored, but he's being clever about it. I heard that bit. Internal Affairs is looking for you. What are the guys saying? What you would expect. That's what you would. Chuck tells her, pie faced Annie groans and he shivers. Total free fall. You sure? There's no way. The cables, for one thing. Yes, I'm sure, he says. Lily Mae, I think you would really go upstairs and talk to the IAB guys, even if you did miss something. However, such much you don't want to admit that possibility, the sooner you go and talk to them, the better it's going to go. They're fair, you know that. That that would be standard procedure. Lily Mae muses. But this isn't standard accident. You should really go upstairs, I'm telling you. There's nothing else you can do in a situation like this. Chuck, look at me. She's decided. You haven't seen me, okay? This is ridiculous. Tell me you haven't seen me. I haven't seen you. One of the side effects of people intent on erasing you from their lives is that sometimes they erase you when it might not be beneficial. It would have been delightful for Lily Mae's fellows in the Department of Elevator Inspectors to see her leave the ladies' room before they would before they could have enjoyed a few furious moments of invective, of throaty howls. No one sees Lily Mae when she departs, O'Connor, and it's their loss. The, the newsmen outside the headquarters are scrambling away across the sidewalk like dry leaves in the wind. Midtown is clearing out. No one lives in Midtown. Lily Mae has decided to go home. She needs a night to go over exactly what happened at Fanny Briggs Memorial Building. She can pretend that she didn't hear about the accident until tomorrow morning. Plausible. And she has a good face for telling lies. She's on the subway platform when the problem of dispatcher occurs to her. Craig told her she had to report to base. The subway arrives. She'll say she thought it was a paperwork thing that could wait until Monday. That lie could cause her some trouble with IAB. But it's not totally implausible. Even if they don't believe her, they can't disciple, they can't discipline her unless she was negligent. And Lily Mae will not allow the possibility that she was negligent. It's impossible. When pie-faced Annie shakes off her stupor, she will recall a strange dream about elevator and falling, and will chalk it up to the falling off the toilet, which will happen in about an hour. From the Theoretical Elevators, Volume 1, by James Fulton. We do not know what is next. If we were to take Barbarian and place him, loincloth and all, before one of the magnificent cities, what would he feel? He would feel fear, doubly, the fear of his powerlessness before our architectural excess and our fear, the thing that drives our architectural excess, the dread of imperfection. We do not need cities, buildings. It is the fear of the dark which compels us to erect them instinctively. Like insects, perspective is the footstool soldier of relativity. But as the barbarian would gaze upon our cities and buildings with fear and incomprehension, so would we gaze upon future cities and future buildings. It is the next building, a void, pyramidic. Is the next elevator a bubble, or is it shaped like a seashell, journeying both outward and into itself? Take the capacity. The standard residential elevator is designed to accommodate 12 passengers, all of whom we assume to be of average weight and form. This is the occupant's fallacy. The number 12 does not consider the morbidly obese or the thin man's convention and necessity of speedy conveyance. At the thin man's convention, we conform on objects. Hey, DOD. We capitulate to them. We need to reverse this order. It is failure that guides evolution. Perfection provides no incentive for improvement. And nothing is perfect. Nothing we create works the way it should. The car overheats. Amen to that. The car overheats on the highway. The electric can opener cannot open the can. We must tend to, hold on. Can you hear me all right, DOD? Can you hear me? Please let me know. Okay. Okay, because at first, earlier, everybody was saying they couldn't hear, and I wasn't aware. And I was talking. I know that can be frustrating. We must tend to our objects and treat them as newborn babes. Our elevators are weak. They tend to get colds easily. They are forgetful. Our elevators ought to be variable in size and height, retractable altogether, impervious to scratches, self-cleaning, possessing a mouth. The thin man's convention can happen at any time. Indeed, they happen all the time. What else can she say? His statement is friendly, steeped in chummy argot. The intonation, jovial, and the man's face so banal and uncomplicated. So, like this country that Lily Mae almost thinks she knows him. When the man says, "You're the little lady," all she thinks to say is, "I guess I am." Pause. Jim made no. Jim nods knowingly. "What the hell are you doing in my apartment?" Lily Mae demands. "What do you think we're doing?" John responds. "We're going over your place looking for evidence." Pause. Jim again nods knowingly. Actually, it's more of an involuntary response to getting caught in the act, despite the reassurance of John's cool act. Internal Affairs doesn't have that kind of authority, Lily Mae says curtly. Whether I checked in after my shift or not. Get the hell out of my apartment. There have never been this many people in her apartment before. Jim and John take a step closer to Lily Mae, a decent lunge, and they would have her. "So we're internal affairs," Jim says, as the burgundy residue of Aunt Sally's preserves glistens on his right forefinger. "Yes, we're the watchdogs of the elevator inspector industry." John seconds. Department, Jim says. He licks the remaining preserves off his fingers. "We're the watchdogs of the elevator inspectors department," John says. "The department of elevator inspectors," Jim corrects. John takes advantage of Jim's distraction to flip his magnifying glass into the air and catch it. Scare her. She makes a sudden fake forward grinning, but Lily Mae stifles her flight response. Damned if she's going to look weak. Her visitors' absurd wordplay annoys her. Perhaps even more than her trespass into her home. Their trespass into her home. Her one safe place. She has spent a lot of time trying to find the correct arrangements of things. She never has guessed, sure, but there is always the off chance. Sure. "Let me see some identification," Lily Mae demands. "Now, let's show her wink wink identification." Jim intones. "That'll be all, gentlemen," a voice behind Lily Mae says. The voice is as smooth as a beach stone. It belongs to the short man in the perfect blue blazer, Prince Pince-Nez, in his day and age. That's what the man polishes with a handkerchief as he enters Lily Mae's apartment, polishing far too diligently for there to actually be any grit on the lenses. He moves with the rapid movements of a pigeon, and his left arm resembles a wing, pressed close to the body as it is nooking a leather satchel. He places his hand on Lily Mae's shoulder, and it is then that she truly gets scared. She cannot feel his skin, but she knows it is cold. There's no reason for you to be harassing this young lady, he says. Jim and John look at each other. Throughout the history of their partnership, it's Jim who takes his cues from his comrade. Things as subtle as the tilting of a nostril or a vague tremble in the left knee. Jim is not reading any signals from John. And that's a first. They've never been interrupted before. It's so embarrassing. The stranger, this latest stranger, inquires, "Do you know who I am?" As he squeezes Lily Mae's shoulder. John sighs and answers, "I know your identity, Mr. Reed, in a biographic details, in a few biographic details. But can I say I really know you?" Jim is about to add his usual improv backup to his partner, a dialogic placeholder such as, "Does anyone really know anyone?" Or in the biblical sense. But Mr. Reed flicks a hand dismissing him. Such rubbish. Mr. Reed looks at Lily Mae for the first time. "Miss Watson, did you invite these men into your home? Everything is different now." It seems to Lily Mae nothing in her apartment appears to have been moved, and yet everything is different. That's how she feels. She doesn't feel as if she lives here anymore. Lily Mae looks down at Mr. Reed, for he is a short man, shorter than Lily Mae, and she says, "No, I did not. She doesn't live here." "If I may so bold," Mr. Reed begins. His eyes were wide and hold on a second. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. If I may be so bold, Mr. Reed begins. His eyes are wide and far apart like pigeons. Lily Mae nods. Mr. Reed looks back to Jim and John and says, "Gentlemen, I must insist that you leave this place immediately." John shakes his left kneecap in his trousers, and Jim places the jar of preserves on the kitchen counter, screwing the top back as he does so. Even though he's been found out, habits tells him not to leave a trace. Immediately, John mimics, trying to save face through his characteristic deadpan cess, which is now half-hearted and at best a face-saving gesture. Immediately, Jim says, Jim and John head for the dim hallway outside Lily Mae's apartment. They keep a safe distance from Lily Mae and the diminutive Mr. Reed. John takes the doorknob into his hand and says, you want this opened or closed? I'm sorry. Mr. Reed looks at Lily Mae. Open, she says. Jim and John don't speak until they reach the landing of the floor below. And Lily Mae can't make out what they say. She hears words, though. And the sound is loud buzzing in her ears, incommensurate with the actual volume. Hold on. DOD, I'm going to let you come up because we can discuss some things after, if you want to come up. Can't already copy that. Okay. But I'm going to put the link in the description, in the chat. So, these are the last few minutes. I'll probably go a little after 4 because that's where I'm at. I'm probably going to go over 4 o'clock a little bit. Okay. She feels dizzy but hides it well. Okay, let's see you. Hey, Dee, how's it been going?
Hey, it's going pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm well. Yeah.
Go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your show. Go ahead and complete it.
It's just a few more. It's just this one page, and I'm like in the middle of it. I'm in the middle of the last page because I was planning on going till 4 o'clock. And then we can have a discussion. Okay. Mr. Reed, is it then? She asked. Mr. Reed, yes. Mr. Reed says, I'm Orville Level's secretary. He sent me to fetch you. I don't need fetching, though I suppose I should thank you for helping me out there. Lily Mae walks over to the sullen kitchenette and returns the jar of preserves to the icebox. Then she thinks better of it and drops it in the trash. It was my pleasure. Miss Watson, if I may, have a seat, Lily Mae offers. She has little choice. I'm not sure if you fully realize the difficult position you're in. Miss Watson, today's accident has some very disturbing repercussions, which is why the Intuitionist candidate for Guild chair has seen fit to send someone over to look after me. I don't think I need looking after. Maybe I ask you a question. Why didn't you report back to the department after your shift? I was tired. It is standard operating procedure after an accident to report to your superiors, is it not? I didn't know there was an accident until I saw the late edition on the train home. I think we should be going Miss Watson. I wouldn't advise staying here tonight. Okay. So that's the end of the reading today. So we didn't go over to 4 o'clock, but we'll talk. We have time to discuss whatever you want to discuss. All right, Dee. You can speak. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I apologize.
Yeah, you're okay. I'll finish with the reading for the day.
Okay.
Yeah, for the day. So far, what do you think? I've seen you a couple times.
I mean, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it is a very interesting story. I wish you made it a movie.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised it wasn't.
yeah, I'm surprised it's not. Maybe politics played a thing in it.
More than likely. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're gonna always they hide things. They want to hide stuff and don't want.
So
But
you really
I've
want the
seen,
conversation about.
yeah, well, I've seen on YouTube. There's been a lot of people reviewing his book. It's mostly
Mhm.
Caucasian people.
Right.
hmm And
So
our people, they got our people busy destroying each other on YouTube.
that's true. That's very
And
true.
and not only destroying each other, but destroying our YouTube viewers, the people that come on YouTube and to learn things. So they learn that, about relationships and the Black community and how it's supposed to be in the wrong way a lot of times,
Right.
unfortunately. For us, how do you think we get stuck in that position
You get stuck in what position? Position of
of of destruction instead of building when our intended goal is always was to build.
because we're trying to equate real life every day into what's going on here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know. Come on, Lightbeard, you and I know that what goes on here on YouTube very rarely shows its ugly head out in the real world. I've never been around people who talked about divesting. I've never been around people who talked about um, aborting black male fetuses. Nothing like that in the real world.
Right.
Now, here on YouTube, it's just ways people make money.
Do you think they're agents?
Of course they are.
I think they're
Anytime you talk
agents of.
down on your own, anytime you talk down on your own people, you're an agent. You have to.
I call them agents of destruction.
Mhm. But like I said, it's a good thing that it's kept here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter,
Right.
TikTok, wherever.
Yeah,
It's not really mainstream.
I've been seeing a lot of those shorts popping up of girls showing their white man and saying, "Oh, he, you know, I get accepted, I get this." Have you seen those shorts?
I haven't. Well, I've seen them. I haven't. Cause I'm out on. Well, I'm on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok. I have a TikTok account, but I'm not there. So I only see them when other people bring them up on their
Oh,
on
okay.
their channel.
No, this is
But
on YouTube most of the time. These are
okay, well,
shorts on YouTube.
yeah. Again, I only see it really when somebody else brings it up. So it shows it on
Oh,
their
okay.
channel. Whatever. Yeah,
Okay,
that's one
so
thing.
I got hold on a second. I got some more videos coming up. I can give you the dates for those.
Sure.
I got one, Let the Dead Bury the Dead. That's going to be Friday.
that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, just by
Yeah,
the title.
so I got time. I'm starting at 10:30 in the morning, and I can go all the way to 1.
Hmm.
If it could be that long if possible. And then I have the Valentine's tomorrow. Why my husband and I don't practice romanticism.
Oh, okay.
And of course,
Okay.
tomorrow is that Valentine.
You know what the history of Valentine's, right?
Yeah, I do. And it's
Hey,
not conducive for our people. That's why we have so much problems and issues in
right.
relationship.
Mhm.
It's like someone gave us a curse.
Well, it's all pagan ritual.
Well, no, it's not pagan because we're pagans.
Valentine. I'm talking about Valentine's Day. It's a
No,
pagan
it's
ritual.
not pagan. Oh, you're talking
Oh,
about original.
right.
No, it never was pagan because pagan has nothing to do with Roman.
Rome,
Maybe they
Roman is the
maybe they
creators
took
of
it. Maybe
paganism.
they took it and they made it diluted. That's what I think they did.
Right. But I
They
mean,
took
it's still considered
something.
pagan.
They took something good and they made it diluted.
Well,
But
they always do.
and then Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about everything is a distraction at this point.
Mhm.
Everything that's going on, we see. I said game's over, right? For these people, I'm not the only one that knows that. A lot of
But
us know.
is it a distraction on YouTube for the YouTubers, or is it a
No,
distraction
I'm talking
in
about
everyday
it's
life?
a world distraction. Like
No.
COVID was a world distraction.
Okay. That's
It was
interesting.
lie.
Too. Now,
It's
do you want me in the chat or on the panel?
I talked about illness a long time ago with the change of the planet. I talked
Okay.
about what we could expect with our eating habits and then they admit that, yeah, corona virus, corona comes from the sun. It's the sun. So we're getting all these energies from the sun, and certain people can't handle it. They have what they have done, which should be a revealed thing in this time of day of revealing, is through our eating habits made our bodies weaker. And that's obvious to know. A lot of Are you still there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Because I was
I'm
I was in a different place.
Yeah.
Because all the foods we eat play a big part in our frequency, how high our frequency is.
Mhm.
And plus stress, and that's part of distraction, is getting us to feel more stressed through news, information they put out, different stuff like that. And just our daily life is stressful as a people. So, the nature was trying to get at them, but they got at us with artificial means. So when nature comes and gets at them, it'll get at us as well with our health. Because if our frequency is on their frequency, a low frequency. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? hmm
Right.
So therefore, they have to cover it up and say, "Oh, there's some virus," and then blame Black people and say it's all Black people need to get this shot now. Ain't it obvious?
To keep us on their frequency.
Mm, to ensure that we're on their frequency, yes, that we would die.
Hmm.
hmm
I agree.
But we've had two people that told us about our eating in the conscious community, and that's Dr. Sabi and Dr. Africa,
Right.
and a couple of other sisters to tell us about our health and how important all these decades they've been talking, you know. And I was getting on the ball probably mid 2013, 2014, somewhere in that time frame of changing my eating habits, you know.
Right.
And I did change some things. Some things I did throw out and I never picked back up. And that was pork. I threw that out in 2012. That was my last time I ever had pork, was 2012.
Well, that's good.
And so, the planet is changing to where It's eradicating those who have always had their feet on our necks. But are we going to go down with it? Or are we going to rise to our new place?
Well, I believe some of us will meet
Mhm.
that fate, unfortunately, and a lot of us, will rise, above
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I agree. I agree, DOD. Are you going live anytime today?
I was going to ask you if you wanted to come over and go live, but since
Oh,
you
yeah, I
invited me here,
do. I do. I do. Okay.
what you want to do? What
So
you
we
want to
can
do?
end and then I can come over and
Well,
go.
well. I mean, do you want to do it now, or do you want to? Because I'm
When
gonna
do
wait and
you,
do it later tonight. But
oh,
if you
you
have
want to
time,
do it? You said you want to do it later tonight. What time later tonight? Huh?
um, well, it'll probably be too late for you. 'Cause I was thinking like maybe 8 my time.
What's 8 your time and my time?
It's
Let me
probably
see.
gonna
3 hours ahead.
be 11.
11. No, 11 will be fine with me.
You sure? You probably be asleep.
Yeah. Now that I think about it. Hey, guy, golly, Nollywood. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing, sis?
I'm doing
What's going
great.
on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, King? How's everything?
Oh, it's pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there. It's snowing where I'm at.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, I
Back
live in
east.
New York, so
Yeah, I figured back east. Yeah. 'Cause it's sunny here, man. I mean, there's no breeze, nothing. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada. So.
oh, it's not snowing over there?
And no, man, it rarely snows here.
Oh, okay.
Nevada. It's just rare.
You said it, but it does snow sometimes, don't it? DOD.
Maybe like 2 or 3 years, and then it's not even really called snow. I mean, it drops the snow, but then it melts real quick. So.
Oh,
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, the snow over here it's snowing, but it's not sticking.
mm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And where are you at again?
For me,
Yeah. What
I'm
state?
in New York.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, they said I'm in VA. They said we're supposed to get it today. I did a
Oh,
little chi work and energy work to get. Did you see that video? Anyone see that video?
what video is that?
It was called Know Thyself.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I might have
Mm.
seen that. I can't recall.
You said
No,
earlier when I was doing.
Virginia, the farthest I went back east was Virginia.
Okay, I was outside in my backyard doing chi, trying to make the weather not hit us because I do not want snow.
Mm.
As I told you, I can't stand. I'm a hot weather person.
Uh, I mean, most black people is tropical people. We pretty much tropical people. I'm not really a fan of winter, but I don't like the humidity either. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I don't
I
like the
just like that.
humidity.
There's nothing like a cool ocean breeze. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I would prefer dry heat over humid heat.
Right.
Oh, I love dry heat. I used to
Hmm.
run in it. Okay, is Arizona dry heat or not? Is dry Arizona humidity?
Arizona, Nevada, this part of the country would be dry heat.
Mm.
Florida, stuff like that would be the humid heat.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida gets really hot. Oh my, I've been there. Oh, it's the worst.
Okay, then Bahrain got 130 degrees when I lived there.
Mm.
Where?
I said in Bahrain. That's an island between two rivers. It's in Africa, but they call it's in Africa, but the Arabics installed it and call it the Middle East. But it ain't no such thing as no Middle East. I call it Africa. And when I was living there, the indigenous people were black. Original indigenous people of that island were black.
I would think so. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I was told that too, but then it's like when they show Africa, they only show the continent. They don't show really I guess you might well say the rest of it. But they only show the continent. So they say the Middle East is really part of Asia. So I don't know. So I'm a little, it's conflicting.
No, guess what you conflicted about? Because there's a part of Asia is Africa. They stole so much. Part of even you don't know that Italy, Spain, Greece, all of that was Africa. What they call Israel today was Africa. All
Okay.
of that is Africa, and a big part of Asia was Africa.
I mean, but in today's time, because like I said, I don't know what. Look, I always say I only could go so far when it comes down to history, right? I don't know. Everything else is more like a speculation. You know what I'm saying? So when we live in today's time, I'm going to call it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, that's just me. I'm just not going to just. I mean, like, yeah, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that.
No. What I'm saying is this is historic fact.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're right. I'm just saying that in today's time, that we have to go by for what it is. Because, like I said, I can only go by history. We can only go by so far. Because I've heard of Moors keep saying, like, yeah, all the continents were together, and they said that America is part of Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like the Nile River is really Mississippi River. I mean,
actually, it is true, and it probably still is true because they're saying that you can through the Grand Canyon you can walk to Africa.
Where they said the continents broke off from each other, so you know.
But are they? But are they really broken off, or we've been brainwashed and taught a lies? If you can walk through the Grand Canyon to Africa,
have you done it?
Have I done what?
Walk all the way to.
No,
to the
I haven't. But I saw something, and I need to look more into it because it just surprised me. It just was a shock yesterday. It just was some information that went across from me, and I was like, "What?"
And I mean, if people can actually, if you can actually show me some proof that it can happen, but other than that, it just becomes speculation. It's
already known that you can go through Mexico and get to different other parts of the other countries.
And where can I find this information at?
People are doing it today.
People also
Haitians, all the South America. They're saying you can go straight through South America to get to.
You can walk there?
Yes.
You probably
want to drive. You probably want to drive.
So you said. So why everybody keep taking boats and stuff like that to get to countries and stuff?
Because that's what we've been trained in our minds to think that we need boats and planes. And then they lie about the flights, how the flights are going and directions and stuff. They lie about that. You can find that out yourself when you fly next time. If you fly international, you can see that for yourself. I saw for myself when I was going from Greece, to Ireland,
in the military,
to back to Africa and stuff like that. That it was something about the direction that wasn't right.
So let me ask you, like, Bird, well, I know you're not, but I'm gonna ask anyway. So are you not a flat earther, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm not into all of that. I told you debating is not of us. It's not. I don't deal with things that are not conducive and beneficial to my nature, to my health, and my life. Things like that is destructional. Because what am I going to do? Sit and argue with somebody about something that doesn't really need to be argued about in our culture as a people? Because we don't think like that. That's when you get into that white man's thinking. You got to argue about everything when we always had, we didn't. Wisdom.
Yeah, what about you, brother? What about you, brother? Are you a flat earther? Do you believe in?
Oh no, I always knew that the Earth was round. I mean, you don't even. It's just You could just look at the sky. You could just look at the moon. Look at the Mars. You could look at all that stuff. Everything is round. Everything is circular. Um, if you look at nature, everything is circular. Um, I mean, it's just observation. I mean, I don't. I mean, yeah, we got technology now to look at what space and look how what the Earth looked like and stuff like that. Um, you look at the ancient Egyptians, how of course they never went to the space, but they knew the Earth was round. And way before the Europeans even uh, studied it. So no, I'm not a flat earther. I don't believe in that. And that's the point I'm trying to make. When we talk about geographics and stuff, um, it gets silly. It gets real. I'm just saying for me. I'm just saying for me. I'm only speaking for me. When we start talking um about how the continents are together and right now we living on Africa and all, I'm not getting into all that because it's just like it just get confusing. It gets kind of silly. I'm just saying for me, because at the end of the day, we have to take vehicles, some sort of vehicles, to travel to other countries. I mean,
Yeah,
unless there's proof or evidence that people can walk to one country to another. I mean, the only time that you can do that, unless if you're in America and there's a bridge, because I went to Buffalo and Buffalo, New York, and there's a bridge that would take you to Canada. Unless you're talking about that, and I actually uh did it. So, um, but when people say, well, the Nile River is really Mississippi River, it just get kind of silly to me. And I don't debate and all that stuff unless they can show me some proof. Look, the Moors even said that there's an Atlantis underwater. This is the type of stuff that people say, and I
but
don't
the white man's been saying that for a long time now in his History Channel
saying what long time.
about Atlantis underwater. He's
And
been
you
talking,
believe it?
that's in our history books.
I mean, is it? Do you believe that?
I don't believe anything. I'm an intuitionist, so I expect myself to know these things. So I know a lot of things. That's what I'm trying to reveal to you because you're stuck in the white man's logic, west on the left side of the brain. I'm sorry, which means that you you're waiting on someone to show you something instead of you go and experience it or feel it or go within yourself and talk or speak with your ancestors, your higher self, guiding you to those things. You can't subscribe to that. You're an imperial, and this is what this book, The Intuitionist, is about. It's about
But
imperialism over our cultural ways, which has always been connected to the ancestors, and knowing. You got to know who you are first before you can come and deal with the world. You know what I'm saying? Once you know who you are, then you can deal with the world and its lies or truths. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I've had many conversations with the light bearer about the left side
Mm-hmm.
and the right of the brain.
And you said you're a left-sided brain because you're manly, and that has nothing to do with it. The masculine and the feminine, it doesn't have nothing to do with that in that aspect. But we all have been brainwashed to literally think that that's what it has to do with our sex.
But you've also mentioned, like bearer, that we both possess each. That the man possessed both the right and the left, and so
Yeah, you do.
female. So
Yeah,
if that's
and you have the
then
ability to rise. That's when you're in your God self. That's when no one can cut. That's when you know. That's when you're doing your magic. That's when you know you're in control. You're making things happen. You're not weakling at the bottom. Oh, all this crime against us. What to do? What to do? You're not there. You're making things happen. You're the one that's moving the man on the chessboard.
so let me say this because and like I said, this is not we just having a discussion. I don't
Mm-hmm.
debate on none of this stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
because what I'm hearing is more like a belief system, and that I could turn around and say, well, that came from the white man. It's a belief system. Now, I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right. As far as the left and right and brain and all that, I'm going by as evidence, right? When you look at the ancient Egyptians, like the ancient Kemet, they use vessels. They traveled on boats and stuff like that to go from one place to another. I never heard them say that they walked from one country to another. You see what I'm saying? They always use vessels, and they have evidence of that. See, when we grow up, we have to study who came before us. So when you say, well, you need proof or evidence, well, everything we study, everything that people that came before, and just logic. It is logical.
It's not only logical. No, it's not.
Because I'm not going.
It comes from what I'm talking about. It comes from our ancient ancestors, not Egyptians, but Kemetic, our ancient ancestors.
But you know what, like, bro, you said that this brother complete his thought. So
Go ahead, complete your thought. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No, I'm just saying that I've done my studies, and I never like you're the first person that said about the left and right brain. The only time I've heard that was the movie Lucy, right? Which is very interesting because she was saying that we don't use according to the movie, she was saying that we use one part side of the brain. We're not using the full capacity of our brain. And I thought it was interesting. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Maybe she does. Maybe that makes sense. But then I look at how, as a people, as a race, as Black folks, as African people, look at the accomplishments that we did. Look at the things that we built. I mean, the first car, the first everything, way before any race have done it. The only thing they did was took it and made money off of it.
That's what I'm talking. You got it. You got it, brother. Hold on.
But I'm saying
you got my point right there.
Right, but we're still doing it. Most of us are still doing it.
Exactly. That's called using your both sides of your brain, your whole brain. That's how we built the pyramids.
Right.
What do you think? The white man, okay, we went to a sleep. Let me explain to you. We went to sleep. At a certain point in time, I think it was when the Moors got conquered. Because their high priest and Kemet, he passed away. And then
that was a self-inflicted wound there with the Moors.
Huh?
The Moors, that wasn't self-inflicted wound. A self-inflicted wound there. They invited their demise.
No. All of this is metaphysics. You probably can't comprehend what I'm trying to explain to him. I'm explaining him how the planet was changing.
I can't comprehend it.
No. I mean, you can probably comprehend it, but let me explain it because you're telling him something that is making it confusing. Like you thinking that you blaming the Moors for what they did, but what they did.
I'm blaming the Moors for allowing the white people in. They taught white people.
But I'm not ready to explain.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not ready to explain why they taught them. I'm about ready to explain why they taught them. Okay, so the high priest passed away. There started being some different color Moors. White people started calling themselves Moors as well. They always still our identity. So the Moors were conquered. We never conquered anything. Like I told you, Spain was Africa. Italy is Africa. Greece was Africa. All that area was Africa. So, and then there was Black people in England, France, all those places. But, the Caucasian comes from the mountains in Asia. I would say Asia Minor somewhere. And, they went to the cold regions, the regions that were colder.
The Caucasus
and
Mountains.
they overtook the original black people that were there in England. You know,
So
uh,
were black people
so
in the Caucasus
so when they
Mountains?
were there in England, there was so much disease and so much stuff that people, the barbaric people, the Caucasian. So the Moors had to go over there to teach them all our science, all the stuff, because we were going to be going into a sleep. The planet was changing. The oxygen chemical balance was changing because we need right now, we're not even in our element with the oxygen, but all of that is changing now for the better for us. The magnetic field on the planet is changing, just like it changed then. And we were all going to fall into a sleep and wouldn't, you know, easily taken advantage of. And that's what happened to us. So all that information we gave the Caucasian was beneficial because now they're regurgitating the information back to us today through their movies, which Bobby Hemmett says the movies are inspired through the spiritual world to wake us up, to make us aware. They are inspired by the spiritual world to make these movies, and that is proof. You just watch any movie, watch these movies that they put out. King Kong, 1976. His relation to the ape man, he makes it clear in there. It had nothing to do with Africans or black people.
Well, what about the white woman that was in that movie?
That's them.
Right. No, but I've heard different theories about King Kong protecting the white woman.
Yeah, if they could become monkeys again, if they can become look like a ape and have sex with their women, that's a turn on for them, evidently. If
I
they
just
can
kind
go
of
back to their primordial selves, their selves, where they come from, to them, that's great. If they happy about being Neanderthals. You can look on, there's one girl, her DNA test came in and she found out she was 100% Neanderthal. And she was on YouTube and happy about it, celebrating.
This is a black woman?
Oh, what?
Yeah, white woman.
Oh, come on, DOD.
I want to be clear.
Ain't no black people got no Neanderthal 100%.
no, we don't have no Neanderthal. But I want to say
I'm talking about them being happy though. They're happy
Well,
for what
I think they're more related. In my opinion, I don't even to cut you off, sis. I just want to say something real quick. I don't really believe into that evolution crap. I mean, that came from
it's not evolution. They're
well,
not.
let me
They
finish.
didn't evolve. They were made from them. Different
No, let me
wolves
finish.
and all of that.
No, I know, but I just wanted to say this though. I'm just saying for me. I'm just saying for me.
I don't believe in evolution either. We have nothing to do with the
Come on, let the brother speak. Let the brother speak, Lightbearer. Let him speak.
But what he's speaking is he's accusing me of having to do with
evolution. I'm not accusing you. I'm not accusing you.
Yes, you are. When you But why would you even have to say I don't subscribe to evolution when you know I'm not even dealing with evolution over here?
Well, if you let him speak, maybe he'll clear it up.
Okay, clear it up.
No, what I was saying, no, I wasn't saying what you said. I'm just saying, I'm talking about what white people were saying. They were saying that they said the human race came from the gorilla man, the ape man.
Oh, okay.
And you see that a lot. You saw that those pictures, which is nonsense. Now, I don't know, maybe I did the video called the Joe Rogan. I don't know if you. I just did a video.
Yeah, I did see that. I saw it. Yeah.
And I didn't know the brother had a channel. I got to look into your channel, brother.
Yeah.
God Hollywood Jr.
Hey, put your link in my in the comment. The private covenant sex
Well, I'm
life.
on my phone. I won't be able to do it. I will have to come out and do it. I'm on my phone right now.
What's the name of your channel? I'm gonna check it out.
Oh, Lightbearer, why don't you? You on a computer?
I'll type it in.
Yeah. Just put just click on the and just copy the link and put it on your
Oh yeah, I could do
so the
that.
brother could check it out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I
So
got
Also too, before you guys start, I'm running this live on my channel as well, Lightbearer. And so
nice.
I want you guys to drop the link so that I can have some people over here, because I got people in my chat right now as well listening to us. And I would like to have
nice. That's what's up.
Because
Because this is interesting. I like this conversation because I'm learning and I can and we all share information. I think it's very, very good. Very good. I just with me because when I did the video, you know that Joe Reagan said that he went to the hood and he thought he was in the Planet of the Apes because him and his white buddies got drunk and they wanted to go see the Planet of the Apes. And so the cab took him into a black neighborhood, and he said that me and my friends felt like we was in Planet of the Apes. You know, it was very racist, very fucked up racist shit that he said. Excuse my language, I didn't want to curse on you. And
You're okay.
when I heard, I was insulted. You know, what I mean, I was like, damn, like, so I was like, but I'm not disagreeing with you. I think you're absolutely right because I think they are related to animals, white folks.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to just say my opinion because it was just like I was on Pan African Strikes Back's channel, and we had this brother. He had he had one brother say, "Oh no, yeah, yeah, black people did come from apes." Now he agreed with this goofy white dude, Joe Rogan.
Some black people like us, mostly men, they think that we come from apes.
No,
And
that's not
I'm
true.
sitting there like,
I never
no.
understood that.
And then they proud of it. I'm like, you with the white man, and you think, oh my God.
Right. So they put up the picture of the ape, right? So I'm trying to explain to the brother. I said, he said, oh look, he's looking at the face, he's looking at the nose. I'm like, well, that we don't look like that. I said, first of all, all that is fur instead of that gorilla's skin. It was an ape. I said, all that gorilla, it was a gorilla. All that fur, right? I said, we're not furry people. I said, if you shave that fur off, he's white under that skin. That's white skin. Even if you shave a lion, their skin is white, and see that fur protects them from the sun. He said, oh yeah, look at the chest. I said, but that's fur that you're looking at. I said, don't you? And he's in there, and he knows he's animal, and he thinks it's a game. Like you putting this lie out there, saying that we come from animals, and we're not animal people. We're not furry people. Now, the reason why the white man, I think the white man's he's more dog-like.
Wolf.
Yeah, he's more wolf-like. Yes.
They directly wolves. Yes.
Right. You notice they always walk in. Yeah, they always walk in the dog. They love dogs. And if you notice, they shed like dogs. They smell like dogs. That's what they call them. They stink like dogs.
They have sex with dogs.
Right.
Females have sex with them, and men do.
Right.
They have sex with horses too. I'm from.
Oh yeah, women
have sex with the horses.
Right. So when you say they're Neanderthal, right, which is true.
Right.
They're more animalistic. Right. But even though animals don't even operate like them. They're just unnatural.
They're the human form. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just very unnatural altogether. They're not even relate. They have no connection. White folks, and I'm saying this, and they know this.
Right.
Europeans do not have no connection to nature.
They don't. They don't. That when you mix animals together like that, you make a freak. You make something that's unnatural. When you mix up different beings up into a body like that, you make dysfunction. Yes. That's why we get destruction.
Yep.
And that's what they are. And they don't know. They don't know what they do is destruction, because what
Mhm.
they do is for their survival. But it's destruction for us and nature and the dogs. They turned the wolves into little animals that can't even go outside and poop from themselves.
Mhm.
Poop and pee for themselves. They can't do that. If they can't do that, they can't even survive. You made a child in a house and you trained him not to poop and pee in the house. So when you die, how is he gonna get out the door? Hopefully a
Mhm.
doggy door would be down there, but I don't know. How is he
Yeah.
gonna feed himself?
Mhm.
And this is what they make, destruction. And then
Mhm.
and then what that place called, the people that care about the dogs, and they put it on TV and the dog's crying and looking
Yeah.
sad and
Yeah.
can't
Yep.
take care of themselves. That's all
Yeah.
Caucasian stuff right there, and that make no
Hey
sense.
guys,
And
I have a statement made that was made in my chat from Sunkiss
Mm-hmm.
TMA. She
Mm-hmm.
said, just like colonizers, some are decent people, some maybe 1% of their population. You guys agree with that?
Zero.
zero.
That's what
Like,
I think.
didn't they
I'm
ask him,
gonna
did
go
he
with
learn from the story of Noah Ark, even though that's just a story and it never did really happen? But don't you know Noah brought over two creatures that were born from a wolf and a human with him on the boat? And he was supposed to try to get away from all that flooding and destruction of the planet, right? He was supposed to get his family safety.
I got
No,
something better.
he was destroyed. Just
I
they
got something
destroyed their
better.
new land.
But labor, I got something better since you brought up the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, and like I said, we already know the Bible's written by Europeans.
Yeah,
Um,
but you got to realize it comes from the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Kemetic
uh,
writings.
some
And
of
what
it,
they did is they rewrote over what they
not when it comes down to Genesis.
we
Not when it,
no
not when.
no 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 no
Mm,
listen to me.
right,
We
right.
gave them the book as a supplement. Everything we gave them was a supplement for what we already had naturally. They didn't have spirituality, they didn't have nothing like that. But we had to give it to them in a physical form, a supplement. So they wrote and they gave them, it was from the Gnostic. And that's where you get the Hebrew broom. But they've then diluted the stories to really mean something in the physical, literally. But it's a cosmic metaphysical meaning
That's true. But I'm just
behind
saying.
all that.
that's
And
why I
it has
don't
to do
trust.
with
Why
us.
I don't believe in the Bible. I don't believe in religion because it was given to our
Right.
people to keep docile.
Right
I
now,
agree.
the
Yes.
Bible, like, because according to what I was reading, how the Bible came about. That's it wasn't really called the Bible. It was called something else, and it was really
Mhm.
for political purposes.
Right.
Yes.
Now let me say this. Let me say this because you have brought up something very interesting. And I was reading about Adam and Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and they did you know there's bestiality in the Genesis part? I give
Yes.
you
And there
and
was
when I, okay,
not
let me
only
let me say
that, not only
no,
that,
let me
there's
say this
a
real, let me say this real, let me say
no,
this real quick because I want the brother to he
okay,
could,
so
and hopefully he can read it himself.
okay.
When remember before Eve was created, remember this God kept bringing Adam because remember they said Adam was lonely, right? He said he was looking for a mate,
Mm-hmm.
so God kept bringing him animals to mate with.
Wow.
Yeah, read that part. He kept
Mm-hmm.
But
bringing him
see,
animals, and they said
I thought that it was. I
it
thought
was
that
Adam.
Lilith. I thought that
I'm sorry.
Lilith was created at the same time that Adam was.
They don't
You
speak
ever heard
about no
about
limit.
Lilith?
And
They don't.
another thing, brothers, that
Yeah.
they don't know is that there was people already here, and then the creation is Adam and Eve, but there were people already
Right, that's why it didn't make any
here
sense because they said that, I think they said
that
one of
stayed
the
away
days
from that
he said
area.
that right he said God made man and woman or something in one of the days and then he created Adam, but
Mm-hmm.
he didn't give Adam a
Aha.
woman. He
What
gave Adam
God? What God? What God? Because what
No,
God
I'm
made
going by
Adam
what
and
I'm
Eve?
going by the Bible. I'm going with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Bible.
yeah. But when we read that, we got to think what God made Adam and Eve, because we got to question all of this because it doesn't make sense.
No, the whole Bible don't make any sense. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying these are what I'm just saying. Well, the
Mhm.
point I'm trying to make is that they brought bestiality. It was
Exactly.
they put their culture in the book. That's the point I'm trying to make.
They
So
did.
when you read the Bible, when you read it, it would say Adam. It wasn't Adam to Adam's liking. When he was bringing Adam, he brought him the bird and a horse and all this other stuff to mate with. And
Mhm.
it wasn't. So that's what God said. Well, I'm gonna make him a woman. So he took the. That's what the woman came later.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of. I was like, what the hell? I'm reading. I'm like, yo, this is some bestiality stuff in here. What's going on here?
So let me
So,
ask you,
Yeah.
brother.
That's why it
Do you
doesn't
believe?
make sense
Let me
from
ask you,
the.
brother. Do you believe Pan was created through bestiality? The half. What was it? Half sheep, half man.
who?
Pan.
No, the story behind that is that
I
was
never heard
given.
that one.
No, Pam is something that was given as a gift after the Moors taught the Europeans their sciences and stuff. That was the Europeans' gift back to the Moors at that time. They drew
Oh,
that from the Moors as a gift.
I believe he was half. What was he? Half sheep, half man.
It has a metaphysical meaning behind it.
yeah, that's my first time hearing that.
It's even like the Sphinx in Africa, the Sphinx, the half female head and the lion body,
Right,
which means don't let the animal get to the mind. And the way
right,
we do that is use the left and the right brain. And that's all I'm saying, brother. I'm saying that we're extraordinary people. We can innovate. We don't always have to live in our gut, in our penises and our vaginas, and let that rule us. We have to get back to who we really are. And we've been, if you understand what happened to us, we've been put in a state of the gut. The gut.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
right.
And that's through rape, pillaging. It's
Mm-hmm.
like boot camp. It's like they trained us to do all these evil things. But a lot of us survived through it. Because I don't even blame slavery, because you got to think about what did our people do in 1920s? They went and built. They built, we had cities, we had our own banks, we had our own
Movie theater,
Cars.
everything.
Yeah, we had a cars. We had our own
And
sports
that was
leagues.
after
All that.
slavery. So that tells you that way they saying this, they portraying slavery was a lie to put fear in a younger generation, to make us in this state that we're in now, which we don't have to be in this state, because majority of the things we know are lies that came out of their mouth. So we just need to get to knowledge, self-knowledge, which is important.
Right.
And when you go within yourself and you talk to your ancestors, instead of talking to Jesus, Jesus is what holds us down. Jesus is what causes men to murder their wives and wives to murder their husbands. Jesus is who makes people cheat on each other. Valentine's Day make you cheat, make you want to beat your wife and divorce your wife and kill your wife and go see some other one, just sexually crazy out here. Church was, you know what church was? Church was a place where the Caucasian women went with dresses on, and they lift them dresses up. It was a cult place for them to go to and have sex, orgies. That's what really church was in those days. So
Well, it seems like today our people, our women and men are taking over that mindset as well.
it's a low energy, and it's a bad frequency, a bad energy that can flow to you if you're not aware of what you're dealing with. And that's why our minds have to be in a higher state. We have to use, D was telling me men can't use both sides of the brains. I was like, D, men can use both sides of the brain at the same time, like women. It's hard in this society because men have been taught to be men by the pink man, have been told you have to be manly, But you got another aspect of yourself that you've been neglecting, and that's the feminine part of yourself. I don't neglect, y'all can hear me, I don't neglect my masculine, obviously. And
Well,
then
see, I can be masculine. I can be masculine, like bearer, and sympathize. I guess using my right brain, with with the plight of different things that's going on, with our people and stuff like that. But
right, you do.
I'm masculine. I'm masculine before anything else.
Well, you should be balanced. You should be balanced. The man, that's what I mean right there. You just hit it on the nail. Well, the point I wanted to make with the pink man, he wants everything to be one side. He even wanted the black woman to be masculine in this society, and he's still making her masculine.
Well, I don't know how they can determine what's masculine and not. And these guys invented homosexuality.
Right.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
right.
So I don't know how they can be. I think we master masculinity. We master those things.
No,
They
you don't
don't know. They
understand.
don't know what a feminine is. They don't know what feminism and masculinity is. They don't know what that is.
You don't
Because
understand what I'm saying, Nolly.
no, I hear what you're saying. I'm just
Mhm.
I'm just saying I just think differently. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're imbalanced. They're imbalanced, but they
Right.
know how to manipulate the energies in this
Mhm.
society.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
That's
that's
why
true.
we got a lot of gays and lesbians in our community now,
Right. Mm-hmm.
because we've been
Well,
knocked.
the gays and lesbians in our community is been influenced by the white community.
Right. That's true.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's
Mhm.
what I'm saying. They learn to manipulate our energies.
That's
Okay.
true. That's
The
true.
whole thing with us is, we have to get that balance. You can't neglect your feminine, which has nothing to do with sex, but it's just your energy. You do have that energy half within you that is power. It's empowerment for you guys.
I kind of agree with you because I don't know. I don't know if this makes sense because I always say like when we talk about braiding our daughter's hair, right? We have a little girl.
No,
Yeah.
nothing like
No,
that.
listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. I disagree when they say, "Oh, that's a woman's thing." Braiding hair for like when you see mothers always braid their daughter's hair,
You're
right?
right.
And do a good
You're
job.
onto something.
I think straight men can do women's hair and do girls' hair too. So you don't have to be gay to do hair. And I think that's the
No,
Let me tell
because
you guys a quick story.
look.
Let me tell you guys a quick story
Okay.
right quick.
Okay, let me say this.
At the time, my wife was in the hospital. She was because she had seizures, and she was in the hospital. I only had one child at the time, and it was a daughter. And I could not do her hair. I didn't know how to do her hair. So what I did was I took her over to a friend's house. She did her hair. When I took my daughter to the hospital to visit her mom, she asked me who did her hair, and I told her, and she got mad at me. I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing by making sure that her hair is straight, that is right and done correctly. But she got mad and got let another woman do her hair.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is, if that's your creativity part of you, that's the right brain. And I seen a female, she's doing male's hair. And I wanted to compliment. I wanted to compliment.
Known for doing women's hair though.
No. She's doing men's braids, and she's doing all these styles, all these, Hold on.
But that's natural for a woman to do it.
Right.
But
That's what I'm saying.
It's not natural for men to do it.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
No. That's what this society tells you. It's not natural for the man to reach his creativity, his inventive side.
Right, but what I'm saying is that you're right. It is creativity, but they try to, like you said, determine what's masculine and what's feminine, right? So they saying, well, men don't do women's hair unless you're gay. You see what I'm saying? Or that's not a man thing. They always want to determine, like there's dudes say, I don't cook and I don't clean. That's a woman's job. You see what I'm saying? Which is not true at all. And I think that's what And I don't know if that's what you're. I don't know if that's what you're saying. Because if that's what you're saying, I agree with you. Because they try to determine what's a man and what's a woman role, and that's not true. I mean, I think
And they
men
don't know.
right.
Get it in a minute. I'll get it in a minute. Okay, yeah, like there was a
But
time when I was active duty. I've seen men, and it wasn't just men in America; it was men all over the world who were staying at home taking care of the children,
yeah, yeah, I heard
and
about
and
that.
then and then you know, it doesn't make them less masculine. It actually makes them stronger, make them better.
Right.
And if something makes you, if they taught you not to be in touch with the feminine side. You got to be in touch with your feminine side because that's your empowerment.
Hmm.
That's how you're gonna really create things to get out of situations.
Right.
That's how
That's
you're
what,
gonna
and I
know
think
when. Not
now
only
I see
that,
what you're saying.
that's how you're gonna
I
know.
think I see what you're saying now.
That's how you're gonna know. That's how you're gonna know before you walk around the corner if you're gonna get shot or not.
See that now I see what she's saying now. Because if
Your
you have that
intuition.
balance, you could become more creative. Your creative side will bring out more. Like with me, I know how to sew. I know how
Mhm.
I clean. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I know how to do things like that.
And
And
also,
it's something that they would say a woman's job would do, but it brings when a man if a man takes on that female with the roles of what they say a female role is, it would create something bigger. You know what I'm
no,
saying? You'll be
not only
go ahead.
that, no,
Yeah.
not take the female's role, but you use your natural. Okay, don't you know you're born and you had a mom and dad make you, and you got each piece of them, so you got a feminine and masculine
Well,
aspect of
that's
yourself.
true. Yeah, that's true.
So the thing about it is, your mom was intuitive. She knew the dangers and she knew to protect her child, right? So now the child has to use his part of his mom to protect himself. We weren't born as Black people to be on the streets of New York and Chicago to get shot because we're dumb walking down the street. No, we have a part of ourselves that we will let us know ahead of time when danger is there. That's
So
what I'm talking about. We need to
you talk
use,
about
and
intuition.
men need to reach, huh?
So you talk about intuition.
Not only our intuition, but our knowing, and not just intuition, not just the feeling,
Well, I mean,
but
certain
when
parts
you
of
put that feeling with the
the city
logic,
that's not safe, or
when you
certain
put
parts
that,
of your community that is not safe to walk
Hmm.
around. So
have
Right.
y'all
I get
heard?
that. Yeah.
Have y'all heard we've been dumbed down?
Yeah,
That's
I
how
heard about
we've
that.
been dumbed down. That's how we've been dumbed down because we don't know the science of ourselves. And the Bible talks about the science of the Black man in a Black woman's body.
Well, let
And
me ask you this,
I don't
Lightbearer.
want
Let
to
me
get
ask you something, Lightbearer, because my
mm-hmm.
mother taught me how to cook and clean,
Mm-hmm.
wash clothes and stuff like that. She said because
Mm-hmm.
you never know, it may become a time where you don't have a woman around. Now,
Right.
for me, I love women that can cook and clean, and take care of the feminine side of things, so that
Mm-hmm.
so I can concentrate on the masculine side of things. How do you
Mm-hmm.
feel about that?
Well, my husband cooks and he cleans, and his mom, I think that he was probably taught by mom and father. Uh um so I don't think, I think that's just a survival thing. I don't think,
Right, because that's
you
what my
have
mother
to.
said. My mother told me, in case you don't ever have, in case you don't have a woman around,
Mm-hmm.
I, I want to teach you how to cook for yourself, how to clean, how to
Mm-hmm.
wash clothes, stuff like
Yeah.
that. In case you don't
Exactly.
have a woman around, but when there's a woman around, she
Mm-hmm.
should handle those things, and the man should handle the manly thing, the masculine.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
See, I grew up more
in that time.
masculine, so I was less in touch with my feminine. But I've become more in touch with my feminine as I've grown and had children. I used to be real masculine, real tomboy, real boyish, real. I wasn't a a what they call them girls who are gay. They call
Tomboy,
them what? Oh,
butches.
what? Huh?
Like a bull,
tomboys.
No, they
like
call them
bull daggers.
no, not a bull dagger, but they call them something today. They call them I wasn't like that. I was more like, you know, trying to be tough, you know, out here and rough in the streets and
A stud.
no, I wasn't a stud. That's what I'm saying. I was not a stud. Don't get me wrong. I
Well,
was
that's
not
what
a
that's
stud.
what it's funny how
But
that's
I
supposed to,
still
that was used to be
I
a man
kept my
title.
sexy
That's right.
feminine.
We was
I
considered
kept
studs, but I don't know how
I
that went to a woman.
Yeah, I kept my sexy body and everything, and I liked boys, of course, but I was still tough and rough on the streets. And the first, my mission was always in my mind, and that was first of all things. That's how I was. And so basically, I didn't know how to take care of clothes, you know. And to this day, my husband, he pretty much does all his clothes. I do my clothes. I know how to take care of clothes now, but he doesn't trust me. So he does his own clothes and he knows how to do them, you know, really
You
well.
know, I was looking at this Natural Geographics, and I was watching the penguins, and I didn't know this, but the penguins, the males, they watch the babies while the females go and get the food. I
The
didn't know that.
lion, the lions do that too.
Yeah, the lions do that too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
Yes.
And they always say that, the male, we go out and hunt, and we bring, the hunting gatherers, we the hunters, and the woman's the gatherers or
That's
whatever.
the pink man
The
confusion.
pig man, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
the
right.
pink man confusion because he got us into that, and that's not conducive to our survival. You know, that's not conducive. What was Eve doing? She was going out looking for apples off the tree. What was Adam doing? He was back at camp. She went to Adam and said, Adam, here's some apples.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Is that what? So you're saying, is that what African people was doing? The women were hunters or hunting or gathering the
No,
food
we
while the
weren't
man?
hunters or gatherers at
Huh?
all. We weren't hunters or gatherers
Oh,
at
so
all.
Well, there was one
Our
tribe of
food
Africans.
was there.
The women were the warriors. There was one tribe. I can't recall the name of that tribe was, but there were women that were warriors and the men weren't.
That's
Oh
true. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's true.
there were
I forgot the
warriors,
name of that, but yeah, that's true.
and not only
Brother
that,
Corey, he told me about that. Yeah.
not only that, it's matriarchal. That's where we come from. And we come from where the women decide who the king was. Because, you know, the
That's true too. Yep.
woman's right brain is stronger, and we use both sides of our brain. If we're not brainwashed and tricked by this society that we're in today, we
So
use
funny that
logic and we use our creativity.
you said that, Lightbearer, because me and
Mhm,
Brother Bakar, we would have this discussion, and I
mhm.
always kept saying, "Oh, black women, they make the choices when it comes down to their
Right.
mate.
Of course.
And and
We might sell ourselves, but no, the black woman, she knows what she wants.
exactly, you're right. Because we got to be
So,
the ones that start a nation up. We're the ones that start up because we can have unlimited number of kids, right? And then that kids, what I'm saying, like 10, 11, 12 children, right? So we're the ones that start a big family up. So we want to make sure that who we start families with back then, not today, it's a different story now.
Exactly. I was about
You
to say
know, we're not having children with the men that are sharpest tool in the tool shed.
mhm.
And we're getting lost. Women are getting lost for that. You know, they're not they're not the sharpest tools themselves.
Mhm.
what
You
I'm trying to
know,
say that the women today who have these children with these guys who later on they say are dusties or they're no good, they're bums, but yet you laid down with these guys before, when you knew that they were no good.
exactly. Well, see, their intuition they don't listen to because they're more in the masculine, unknowingly more in survival. Women are more in survival. We've been forced into survival mode.
Well, women have always been that way. They've always looked for men who can uplift them, who can put them in the best situation.
Mm-hmm.
Women have always been that way. But
Right.
today's women is a different thing. They just go out and mess with whomever, have kids
Right.
with whomever, and they complain about it later.
Because they're desperate, their fear guides them, and just in that imbalance within their system, and not knowing who they are, not knowing who we are. That's why I talk about destruction is widespread throughout our community. It has to do with every aspect of our lives. Picking a man in today's
and back in the day too, like black men, we respected black women. We wanted to take care of them.
Exactly. There was a time when we were building and we got along with each other, and that was after slavery, 1920s. Our people did not have no conflicts. We didn't let, I don't know where they get light skinned, dark skinned, old and young. I don't know what they get all that from, but there was a time when our people didn't allow none of that.
That's true.
To conflict us from building.
Mm-hmm.
And we built we had millionaires. You remember the lady that did hair, that, talking about Black History Month. Oh, I shoot. Last year I think I got into her story, but I can't think of it now. But she became a millionaire from hair products for Black people. Yeah. And we were wealthy. Now we're enslaved, and we're making the white people wealthy. We're giving them their money back because our people want Versace. And like, I was talking to a guy on Bigo. He was bragging to me about having Versace and red bottoms in his closet. I was like, brother, don't you know that you're a slave to these people? You're making them rich. You're giving them the money. You're not helping your people. You're not helping us out here. None.
Well, they say the same thing with these
give a dollar to our community.
White women. They say the same thing about these rich black men, like Jordan. Let's say when Jordan died, his wife is still alive at the time. She's going to get all his money, and that's going right back into the white community.
White community, right? We don't even give a dollar towards our people. If we were to come up with a bank account in a place where we could do this safely without being discriminated or anything like that, but it would be for our community, and we had people just contribute each month $1. Can you imagine if those people really wanted to build and to stop? If we really wanted to stop our spending power from being the white man's power and start having our saving power become our community's power, we could do that real easily. But people don't feel it. They call me hate because I talk about Caucasian people, but they don't call it hate when these Caucasian people are out here doing things. They've done things, put us in positions where we can't get out of because our people are most of them are dead. Most of them are gone.
You're right. Let me add on something.
And most of these people on YouTube know I hate white people. And I don't care. I hate white people. All of them. The only white people I love is the ones that don't wake up in the
You tell me that all the time. Yeah. Go ahead, Nollywood.
Yeah, it's I did a program on the Joe Biden, how he's gonna put in the crack pipe kicks, right?
Yeah.
And because his son got caught with a crack pipe in his mouth. So now his whole thing is to fix racial equality. Well, he's gonna give black people crack pipes, and it's supposed to be this drug kit. So he's endorsing drugs. So that means he's gonna flood the neighborhoods all over again with crack. Crack hasn't gone away. You know what I mean? And I remember at the time that our communities was flourishing and we had factories and stuff like that. If you look at Baltimore, Baltimore was not like Baltimore today. Baltimore was very beautiful. You know, Harlem was very beautiful.
Detroit.
Compton, Watts, all these communities were flourishing. You had mom and pop stores. But what happened was, and I can understand what the brother is saying, and even with you, like Burr, when we say when we don't like white folks, we hate white folks, I can understand that because look, they destroy communities. They turn our communities into ghettos. That's where the word ghetto came from because with the abandoned buildings. Look at the South Bronx. I mean, some folks never looked like that when we was in there.
Right.
It was the drugs that put because they shut all the factories up. They took all the skills, the plumbing skills out of the colleges that black people was going to. So all this was systematic. And they don't, as a matter of fact, they don't even have to tell you they hate you. They do it through their system.
Through the system. Set up for their survival and our destruction.
Right. And that's why I don't go around, to me, I don't go around saying I hate or black power. I don't do none of that. You know what I do? I do it through a system.
Right. Our own system.
Let them know, hey, this is what I'm doing for my people. Fuck you. And that's what we gotta do. They don't like it when a black man treat his woman good. Especially she's a dark woman. They hate that. They hate that unity. So they'll do every little thing to break you. And they try to get at the black man, so our women are gonna look at us weak. But some of our women, they see what's going on and they still have our back. They say, you know what? I'm gonna be there for my man no matter what. So now what you do? You gotta destroy the black woman. First they thought we was the threat, brother. But they see the black woman that's why she's the queen. That's why she's the most powerful piece on the board. So they try to get at her. So now you see her, this a beautiful black woman with a white man on these TV shows. Either they're gonna make her gay, or they're gonna have her with a white man. And this is how they're gonna brainwash the youth. Because now they thought, the black man's not the threat. No, it's the black woman. She is the powerful piece on the board. She's the powerful chess piece on the board, and that's what they're doing.
Well, the first thing you do if you want to destroy a race of people is to divide the man and the woman. That's the easiest way.
That's right.
That's right.
And then not only that, I add on something else. So that's why I was recommended to watch there's a documentary called Crack. Right now, we already know black men was getting locked up or whatever. But what happened was when you destroy the black woman, you destroy a nation. You destroy generations. So when our women got on crack, guess what? Our children was on the street. They was in foster care. The kids wasn't a home safe with the mother. So when they got to the women, that's when everything got messed up. And that was the whole goal, to get to the black woman, because when you get to the black woman, you destroy a nation. And that's what happened.
Because the woman is the teacher of the children.
Yes. She's the first teacher.
Of the boy, yes.
Exactly. And the girl too. Yes. I don't separate either and the boy and the girl too, yeah.
Yes.
So that's why. See, this is real. This is real, and it's not going to end. It's not going to stop unless we end it.
Unless we got the power to end it, and that's what are coming out of their way of thinking. And see, they can only use a certain percentage of their brain. Imagine if we just start using our whole brain and being our whole self again and balance my arts.
Right.
All these things are within us. All these words and things out here are within us.
We have it in our DNA. It's in our DNA, but we ignore it.
We don't know ourselves. Yes, when we know ourselves,
I don't think we don't know. I think we know, but we just ignore it. We just reject it.
And our weakness. That's our strength and our weakness.
Exactly.
That's right. That's right. Like a lot of things that we're doing, we're doing come from Africa, like braiding hair, like different hairstyles, dreadlocks, all that came from Africa. But for a
Dan,
long time, black
where you
people
But
Dan?
Nollywood, I know that you probably don't know, but we were all over the world. We're not just don't just say that we were just in Africa. A lot of us were in America. We were all over the place. So a lot of the braiding comes from all over the place. It really doesn't. It
No,
comes
That's an opinion, but
from us.
I agree to disagree.
It comes from the black. It comes from the black Nubians. How about that? Is that better?
Where do Nubian come from?
Black Negroes, Nubians.
Now where's Nubia?
With the earth, we're the ones that inherited the earth, and we're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back.
Well, let me say this. And the reason why I say it, because I think when we talk about Africa, that is the throne. That is the core. That's the core, right? That's the first black man, black woman came from. Now, we traveled all through.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. We were in America for the Europeans. We traveled all over. That's why I was telling you, England, we had black people there. We had black people in France. We had black people. That's why the Moors went over there to save them, try to save them, the indigenous people, by giving the information supplement of what we already have, the sciences and stuff. All the stuff they regurgitating to us is just to remember ourselves, put ourselves back together. And the white man's doing a good job because he kept good records. That's about it. But his nature is just evil. He wants to get us to take our lives.
Lightbearer, keep this live stream up, because like I said, I'm streaming from my channel, and I didn't see the link that you dropped for this brother's channel here, but I want to go check him out, so I want to make sure.
Okay, well, let me drop it again.
It's there.
You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
You don't see it?
I can see it from my screen here, but just keep it up so I can go ahead and check him out. I want to subscribe to this brother's channel.
Okay. I mean, you don't see it on my screen?
Well, I can't see it from here. No, I can't. I'm on my computer and I'm looking. Okay, I see it now. You just dropped it.
Okay. So copy that down, and I'm ready to close out.
Okay, this was a great discussion, bro. I appreciate it.
Was great having you, Nollywood. Always great to have you on my channel.
And nice to meet DOD. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna subscribe to your channel as well.
Oh, did you find his channel? DOD, let me get your link. I thought I asked you to put it in the.
Okay, what I'm gonna drop this brother link into the description or to the comment section. Excuse me.
Yeah,
just this live now, and so my people can go over and check him out as well.
Did I make you a what they call it?
A wrench? A moderator?
Did I make you a moderator?
No, you didn't make me a moderator. No.
I'm talking about DOD. I thought I made.
I've been a mod. I've been a mod over.
Okay, so you can put you can put it in there for him.
Well, no, I'm on my channel, so I would need you to drop, because I'm on my channel streaming.
Okay, let me drop yours then. Let me drop it real quick for you, Nollywood, before I leave.
Oh, perfect.
DOD's.
I'm gonna encourage my people to go over and check you out, brother, and subscribe to your channel.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, and I would love to have you on my panel as well. Lightbearer, she comes to my panel sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When she get a chance. So when I have discussions like this, I like to have more people's thoughts and stuff. So I would like to have you on my panel. Share your channel and have people subscribe to you and stuff. So yeah, definitely we can.
Let me know.
Okay, yeah. Actually, I'm about to do a program next Saturday called Racism in Israel, and it's basically a piggyback on how they got after Whoopi Goldberg and what she said, and how these white folks was calling her all types of names, and saying how evil she is, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, whoa, wait, whoa.
That's for her.
Did you
That's for her.
forget what y'all did to the Ethiopian brothers and sisters over there who were
Right.
refugees looking for help and support?
That should be a wake up call for her.
Yeah, it should. It was a wake up call. I mean, think about it, her last name is Jewish. She married a Jewish guy. She married 3 white guys. One of them was Jewish. So yeah, so it was definitely a wake up call. But I just didn't like how because what she said, she wasn't lying about it. She wasn't lying. But I just thought that was kind of weird how they was saying how evil she was, and I'm just like, wait a minute. But I've seen videos how y'all beat black people up and pass laws against black people in Israel.
Exactly.
And it was the rabbi that called us apes and monkeys and all that shit. Nah, I'm not gonna let that slide.
I got a video clip of that, of him saying that.
Yeah, it was in the papers too.
Yep.
So I'm gonna talk about that next Saturday. I'm gonna do a program at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, if you can have a panel about that, brother, let me know, man.
Yeah. I'll definitely. Just press the notification and it come up. So
Okay.
you'll get the notification.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know what? Where do I need to go at to copy your link when I'm on your page? I'm on your page, but
just to the top right there where you see the address, it says StreamYard, or it says the link or whatever, YouTube.com.
I don't see none of that. I see your subscribe for new videos, Deacons of Defense, DOD. Oh, is it your picture I click on? No. Community. Let's see
you see at the top there, at the top of your screen, where it says www.youtube.com.
Oh, okay, there. Yeah, you're right. Let me go back. Okay, just copy that.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what's taking her long? I hope that's right. It should be all right. That's DOD's link.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'm definitely gonna add them.
Yeah, click on that, brother, and let us know if my channel comes up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have to do it.
Okay.
I can't do it on my phone. I'm on my phone.
Yeah, you get.
I have to get on YouTube and then I'm gonna click it from there.
Okay, right. That's why I was asking you. That's why I was asking Lightbearer to make sure she keeps this live stream.
Yeah.
So,
I gotta do the same thing.
But do they usually keep my chat up? That's the problem. I don't know how they.
No, they keep your chat up. Yeah, your chat will still be there.
You be seeing my chat?
Huh?
You see my chats on past videos? You get to see it?
Yeah,
I don't
of course. That don't go away.
Oh, okay. I don't.
I can still click on the link, even with video upload and everything. Yeah, I can still click on links and stuff.
Well, what's his brother's YouTube channel name, just in case? What's his YouTube channel name?
For me?
It's hold on.
Guy
Nollywood Jr.
Guy Nollywood Jr.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just
and
in case
his is D.O.D. Capital, all capital.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. This was a good build. I learned. I hope everybody learned from one another. That's good.
Yeah, thank you,
so
guys.
This is very very. I like having good discussions like this. You know.
I do too.
So, but I'm gonna chill for the rest of the night. Guys, I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I got.
I'm gonna watch some Super Bowl and watch the halftime and all that because I think the halftime's gonna be better than the game.
Probably so, yeah.
So, how do you feel about Snoop Dogg got Death Row Records now?
I feel good, but what's he doing?
I like that. He got his own record company. I'm glad he bought it because it was owned by a Caucasian.
Yeah.
And
so
then he brought it back. That's good.
So I'm just hoping that in Hollywood we'll see some changes with our music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
but
we
as
can
soon as,
own our
as soon
own.
as he bought it, there wasn't some white woman that accused him of sexual harassment or something.
Yeah, so that's the thing I don't understand. Like once he bought it, that's when this allegation started to come up out of nowhere.
Right.
What do you
Wow,
expect?
that's
White people
crazy.
are, what do you expect? They gotta play their chessboard moves. They gotta make their chessboard moves. They're
Wow,
corny,
like I said, ain't this something?
stupidity, ignorance. Ugh.
Yeah, it's sad. It's so
They got
sad,
the,
man.
they
And
got
I don't think he
their,
did that. I think it
their
was.
prevention.
I don't know. I don't. Snoop Dogg is like. I don't think he did that. I think somebody just got up because once he bought it seemed like to me once he bought the record company, that's when this thing came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
very
it was definitely
sickening.
set up. It was set up.
It's very sickening because I was in Hollywood and I was supposedly managing this guy. He was very talented, and you know, and then I had some homeboys where I'm from. They went to Hollywood with their musical talents, and they weren't happy. They didn't like it. They left, got out of it because they realized it wasn't. The people are not really legitimately about the music.
Yeah.
They're about symbolism and what they can control with the Black community, getting us to be destructional.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to say,
And
unless you're
and
talking,
and the
unless
thing
you're
about
talking
it
down
is,
on black women or black men, then
Mhm.
yeah, you're right.
and then
You're right.
the thing about it, I didn't like either, is that he wanted me to be in the music business. I wasn't in the music business. I was in the modeling business. I was
Mm.
trying to get my modeling career, but
Right.
you know, and then like I said, I talked to the homeboys and they explained to me how the music business is, and that why they left, and went back home, and it wasn't even worth it. And
Mm.
this guy, he was so talented of a rapper. You can give him a subject and he'll rap about it. You can tell him your name, he'll make a rap about that. He was really good, really, really good. But every time he would talk to Puff Daddy or somebody like that, he would get ignored. So it was
Mm.
like our own people did not want anything. They just want the clout. They just want the looks. They want the attention. They want the money, fake money. They want the, what they call it, just to have the reputation
Right.
amongst people
Mm-hmm.
who are and that's not what our musical talents and stuff is about.
Mm-mm.
It's
Not
about
at all.
us connecting with each other, not being distant from each other. Like Michael Jackson ended up being world's distance from the Black community that make him,
Yep.
that he come from.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't even know you're connected.
That's right.
And I didn't want that for him. He tried to sign up with some white guy who he explained to us that he was in gaming, but I know he was one of those people who just looking for that big opportunity to make some big money. So he would have took advantage of us. So I told him, don't sign anything with this guy.
Mm.
But I guess he went on and did it. And, just better luck for him. I don't know what he's doing, but, you know,
Mm.
um, that's
Wow.
that's what you get. It's not even real. It's like fake. It's
Mm-hmm.
like when I went there, I thought about all the movies I used to watch, the Beverly Hillbillies, as I walked down Beverly Hills, and I drove through Beverly Hills, and I went to Santa Monica, and walked them different areas, and I thought about all those things, and I realized it's not the Hollywood. Even though Hollywood always been bad
All
and
that is
racist towards us.
indoctrination. It's indoctrination. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. It's all about
Program.
indoctrination.
Yeah. And it's evil, wicked.
Mm-hmm.
And the spirits were with me and they guided me out of there. They told me, you know, I didn't listen to anything. I didn't, you know, all I knew is a lot of, I was very spiritual there. I know I was very spiritual because I would go to psychics. I would go to, you know, their different stores and get me cards and all that stuff. So I was very much into the spirituality there. And the only thing was I didn't know myself. I was still a Christian back then. So I didn't know anything, but I didn't buy anything either. I didn't believe anything these Caucasians told me about who I was and all that stuff. I never fell for anything. Even through school, the lies they would tell us, I knew it was lies. You know what I'm saying?
So you were still trying to learn yourself. You're just trying to understand what was going on.
Yeah, I'm trying to experience and go down that path and look for myself, find myself. Soul search. I was always soul searching.
Right.
I'm still soul searching. You know, I haven't stopped.
Yeah.
You know, understanding things. You know.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna head out.
All right.
It was good talking to you and DOD and like I was good talking to you guys.
Great conversation.
Oh yeah.
Great video.
Good build. Good, very good build.
Yeah.
All right, y'all enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see y'all soon. I'll see y'all next time when when we do a live and stuff.
Take care, brother.
All right, take care to you. I'm gonna subscribe to you right after I get off this live. I'm gonna subscribe to you.
Thanks, bro.
All right, anytime. All right.
Oh.
All right, peace out. Later.
Peace out. Mm-hmm. All right. All right, DD.
Like the brother said, another great build, man. Thanks for inviting me up, and thanks for bringing that brother up as well, because I'm happy to be able to speak to a brother like that.
Exactly. I like to.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always try to network. I love network.
Great work. Yeah.
Yes. So with that said, true love, real peace, the higher self within the soul. Till next time, peace out, everybody. Have a beautiful night.
Take care. Yep.
Bye.